Dort. This is Lee Dort, and I'm down to dunk. This is Lee Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
I'm Josh Giddey, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, this is Kenny Hustle, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Darius Baisley, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mike Muscala, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Poku, and I'm down to dunk.
I love cereal. Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cracklin' Oat Bran.
Oh, I can have these? I'm going to share with my team, but I'm going to hog most of them.
Good morning and welcome to episode 115 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcasts. Go to theathletic.com/down2dunk and get The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I am Luke. Joined this morning by Andrew.
But I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Woo!
Slam through.
And Jay.
It's me. It's Jay.
Taylor's not here. Taylor has actually been hired by the Thunder.
Yeah,
they heard his Xavier Simpson scouting report from last week, and they decided to bring him aboard. So he's their head of blue scouting now at the Thunder.
It's impressive. So
true.
Conflict of interest cannot be a part of the podcast.
Never
anymore.
be on the podcast again. So,
guys, this is our last
it's been real
podcast of the regular season.
Thank the good Lord.
Yeah, well, next Friday
We'll know,
we'll know everything. No, we won't.
except for lottery odds, which
Except
is
for we have to
mid-May.
wait a month and
Yeah, why?
9 days. I don't know. I wish the lottery was Monday.
Either way, it's going to set up. I mean, the anticipation is the whole month of April to May.
Yeah.
Or the anticipation would be from, late April all the way until July.
Yeah.
So either way, you're going to live in a constant state of anxiety. But I think
There's more anxiety about the lottery than
yes.
the draft. Because after we knew, we were very disappointed.
Yeah, because when the Thunder get the 8th pick, man, at least we'll know.
More time. I guess it's less time to be disappointed.
Yes.
perhaps?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, then it's more time to be depressed.
Yeah. So it's just trading one.
It's anxiety or depression.
yeah.
Which one do you want?
Which one do you want?
That's where we are at.
What? Yeah.
Neither.
Or
Neither.
elation.
True. There's nowhere in between here, guys.
Because we could get
1, 2, 3, even 4 at this point. I'd be thrilled.
Just think how good it would feel to draw the number 1 pick.
I'm telling you, I've already in my mind played out both the best and worst case scenario for the lottery.
Yeah.
As far as like being in person.
Mm-hmm.
The emotions that would be
my
going through my
gosh.
body would be so good.
We've kind of spoken about this in a little bit of hyperbole about what would happen if we got to the commercial break and still hadn't heard our name picked.
Yeah.
Our name.
Our live event that we would have would be electric.
I mean,
in that room.
Electric.
So the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast did lottery parties like this, and they did it at this like big like convention center thing. And when they got the number 1 pick, when they got Ben Simmons, and the place was going berserk.
They burnt it down.
when they got the number 1 pick. And then
it'll also be burn the place down if they're like pulling our name in the 7th or 6th or 8th spot.
Yes, but that will be burn it down, but let's stay inside. And
Yes.
let the fire take us.
Yeah.
Because burn it down, number 1 pick is burn it down, and then let's go burn down some other stuff. Get out of the building. We have to burn multiple things.
Yeah.
Would that be the response of excitement?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like
Yes.
both of those could lead to like you've seen riots that take place for both reasons.
I think if there's a number one pick, we should have a car there just so we can all flip it.
Yeah.
Just will it be like a mom?
Taylor's
Be like a
car-
mom saving her baby.
Yeah, we would all have that kind of
We'd
power.
all have that
afterwards.
strength.
that adrenaline running
Because
through
it
our
would
system.
feel. I mean, we'd all just be just so ready to do it. I firmly believe everyone there could do it.
Everyone there could do it. I mean, if we have a
Individually.
couple hundred people,
No, individually.
okay,
Oh,
one at a time. I don't think so.
yeah. Moms can lift a city bus to save their baby.
Lawrence Field in the chat says, I am only accepting the 9th pick as a successful year for us.
I know it is. I love the collective pessimism of the Thunder fan base toward what the lottery will look like.
Yeah, WChem 14, I have resigned to getting the 7th pick. I feel more at peace now.
Yes. Yeah. What a time to be alive. What
Yeah.
a time to be a Thunder fan.
Yeah. So,
Jalen Horde maybe going for the franchise record for points in a game tonight against the Lakers.
might just have to, we could just donate our pick to somebody now that we have Jalen Horde.
You don't know, man. I'll tell you what, it was. I don't think Jalen Horde is obviously not any sort of fundamental piece for the future of this team. But
Yeah.
it was really cool to watch them celebrate him after the Portland
Yeah.
game. Like, I was in absolute anger, depression mode, right?
Yeah.
And I feel bad. I should decide this. Like, we use the words depression and anxiety, and I'm not trying to be flippant towards either one of those things. It's one of those, like, those are real things. This is most definitely not
We're
that.
actually depressed.
Yeah, I know.
And actually,
You're sports mad.
Yeah, sports mad. There we go. I
Yeah.
feel like it's important to say that. So I know people are really wrestling with that. So,
Yeah.
but for me, it's like I'm sports mad post Thunder game, and the whole entire team is having a blast, throwing water all over Jalen.
They're excited
Horde.
the whole game.
They were. I was very close, and it was super like distracted. I couldn't tell you a lick of the game, like any of it, because all I was doing was watching the bench. the
see,
whole
I don't.
time.
I don't think the people that are listening realize how close you were.
They talked about it a little bit on Wednesday. So I was my buddy that normally I go occasionally to games with, and he's normally in the lower bowl, but he's kind of, I don't know, 20 rows up from the bench, maybe more. But he had asked he had that day gone to his season ticket guy and said, hey, we're going to upgrade our tickets. We want to add 2 and we want to get a little closer. And they said, great, sure, here we go. And he says, well, while I'm here, like, any chance tonight you could upgrade us to something a little sweeter? The guy's like, of course. What's kind of awesome is this guy's son
Mm-hmm.
actually is a Down to Dunk listener.
Oh,
which is kinda
nice.
cool. Anyway, but
that is cool.
he was like, yeah. And so we got basically,
You want to shout him out on the pod?
no, I can't remember his name, but I wish I did.
It's Gil Bourbon.
I met, man, I'll tell you the whole story real quick. But so we were basically 3 rows back on the baseline. So kind of in that lower bowl, but 3 rows back, but it was on the bench side. And we were
Yeah.
the last 2 seats on the edge. And
Yeah.
so I'm literally 3-4 feet
Yeah.
from JRE the whole game.
I came and stood over there with you for like
Yes.
a few minutes, and somebody came over and was like, "Hey, you
You got to go because the
can't-
team's going to walk through here or
you
whatever.
can't do this." Yeah.
And so, but it's like, and one of the funniest things, I don't even know his name, and I'm not going to learn his name, but the guy that's Greek, I think, that from the G League, Yorgos. So there was a moment where Shea was trying to explain to Poku how to say his name in English, like George. He was saying George, no, like George, which is not how it's called,
Yeah.
but he kept trying to tell him like it's George. And then they just pick on each other the whole time. I mean, it's like a bunch of 20-year-olds that have spent a year together, you know? And,
Yeah.
But it was really
It's like
intriguing
a
to watch
pledge
all that.
class.
But it is really hard when you're that
Yeah.
close to actually see what's going on in the game. Plus, the game was so bad.
The thing about these games is that nobody remembers what happened in the game, Jay, because the games don't matter. The results matter. Like, that's the only thing about these last like 4 or 5 games. You look at them, it's like, yeah, who are we developing? Nobody.
Yeah, I know.
Olivier Sarr goes for 20. Sorry, Olivier. Sorry, Olivier. You're gone.
Yeah, he's gone. So let me tell you 2 other stories. So while I was at the game, 3 other stories. And these are shout outs. I don't even remember, but I'm walking back and forth because we had access to that under the stadium club, which is
Oh yeah,
really awesome.
Courtside
Club.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
It's very fun.
I was walking back and forth, and as you're heading down the tunnel to the Courtside Club or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
there's a little like 6-foot plastic table, and there's 3 people sitting there on computers,
Mm-hmm.
just typing away the whole time.
That's the social media.
Social
team.
media team.
Yeah.
So I kind of put that together,
Mhm.
and I know that there's one of the guys that's part of the social media team that at least knows us.
Shout out to Grant.
I didn't get to talk to him, but I did talk to the lady who I think's the head of the social media. And so I just
Mhm.
stopped and I was like, hey, this is, wanted to see who you are and who we are or who I'm part of Down the Dunk and all that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Grant loves you guys and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Really cool, really sweet.
Yeah.
And then I'm walking my way back to my table or to my seat. And one of the freelance photographers that sits on the baseline is a guy named, I think, Taylor.
Uh-huh.
Could be wrong. Tyler or Taylor, I think is what it is. And he's also a Down the Dunk fan.
Nice.
And then the highlight
Oh wow.
of the game is we're just lingering.
Yeah.
We're lingering a little bit post game. And I'm walking through and I see Kyle Weaver.
Yeah.
So
I took a picture.
I took a picture
There you go.
with Kyle Weaver. Only, like, I don't do this. The first and only Thunder player I've ever taken a picture with.
Yeah.
And then the only reason I took a picture of him is because I could send a text to the group chat that said Kyle 3-man Weavers. And that was it.
That's awesome.
It was a fun experience, man.
was
Last game of
very
the
awesome.
season at home, too, which was, I'm glad that's over. I'm really glad this season's over.
Why? Because we get to do it all again next year
Don't talk to me like that.
and the year after
It'd be a little bit.
and
In
the year after.
in perpetuity, forever.
If we keep getting 7 and 8 picks, we're going nowhere fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
That pause. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's fun. I had a fun stadium experience this past weekend. If you want to hit my deep dive music, I went to Wrestlemania. And it was dope. I got there. It was in Dallas.
Yeah.
It was at Jerry World. Got there Saturday. Got there like at 6. Sat around. They had a DJ, which was the worst part of the whole event. But then at 7, started 7 to 11. Went home. Woke up.
Went home?
Went like home, like to where I
Drove
was
back?
staying. Then
Okay.
woke up, had breakfast.
Hotel or Airbnb?
My friend's house.
Oh,
That way to WrestleMania with. So then woke up, went to breakfast, took a nap, went back 7 to 11. It was phenomenal.
so Saturday night,
Yes. And then also Sunday night.
but you didn't go to the Hall of Fame thing where the Undertaker
no, I did
was.
not.
Okay.
I didn't go to SmackDown. And then after SmackDown was Hall of Fame, didn't go to Raw on Monday. But I went to just WrestleMania.
So Saturday night highlight: Stone Cold
Stone Cold,
Stone Cold. There we
Steve
go.
Austin
There we go.
wrestled a full match. His first match in 19 years. I saw it. I never thought I'd see him ever.
Also,
wrestle.
Stone Cold Stunnered Pat McAfee.
He also came out on Sunday. He came out both nights and did some stunners on Sunday. He's Stone
Is he
Cold.
smashing Coors Lights or White
He's drinking
Claws?
his own beer.
He's drinking his own beers. And like Saturday night, just during the wrestling match, he calls out, we'll just be getting beers, drinking them constantly.
You
through the
think
match.
he's really drinking
No.
that much beer?
Out of this, like if this is a beer can, he's drinking
Like a tenth of it.
like
maybe.
a
Yeah.
tenth of it. It's foam. It's going everywhere. He's spitting it out. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's just smashing them together. And then
What
pouring
is
them in
his
mouth.
beer?
Stone Cold. It's like some American. He has his own thing.
Yeah,
How
it's his
about
own.
Yeah, Steve Weiser's.
Ooh,
It's not called that, but
Oh,
it's
it should
called
be.
something. It's all like rattlesnake ale or something. You can find it. Anyway, it was awesome.
Steve Austin Broken Skull IPA.
Yes, that is it. I've never had it. I've heard it's good. But seeing Stone Cold was just unbelievable. The really the celebrity matches were like
yeah. How'd Johnny Knoxville do?
awesome.
Really?
Awesome. Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn was great because it wasn't just Johnny Knoxville. I saw Chris Pontius, saw Wee Man, saw a bunch of the other people from their new movie, and then Pat McAfee is like a legitimately very good pro wrestler. He was great.
That's not surprising.
He's
He's got the personality too.
because he's a commentator for SmackDown,
Mhm.
but he's very, very good. And then Logan Paul should do this full time, but I don't think the WWE can afford him because he's so popular. But I mean, he was like very good.
He would be like the perfect heel.
He was. The crowd hated him and he loved it. He was very good. And he was very good. So
What
all
about-
of those were great.
So Cody Rhodes came back.
Cody Rhodes came back. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Not really a surprise, but it kind of was.
But it was very cool to see.
And then Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns won against Brock Lesnar. Yes.
Was it legitimate or was there some cheating involved?
He did hit him in the testicles, but that's kind of
cows.
But he's a bad guy, so that's kind of to be expected. But beyond that, it was pretty clean win
Overall.
But my favorite one,
No, I'm saying, yeah, well, you can go there.
hard to say. I really liked the opening of Sunday was Randy Orton, Riddle. It was a tag team match. They won, and it was so 6 guys all together, and I thought it was very good. It started the night on a very high note.
It's a WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. It was awesome.
So first WrestleMania, obviously.
First WrestleMania, yes.
Worth it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, if it's in Dallas, I highly suggest people go. It was great. And I'd never been to like that area, like Jerry World and all that stuff. It's very good. It's by
I'm not-
Hurricane Harbor.
No, I know. Yeah, I know where Jerry
That's
World
nice.
is.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
Steve
awesome.
Austin's Broken Skull American Lager is what he was drinking. You can buy it at elsegundobrewing.com.
And he drank each night probably 20 of them. He's Stone
Just
Cold
sips.
Stunnered.
Just sips from all 20.
He's not like taking like good beer. He's just like he is drinking it, squeezing the can, and then throwing it down.
Just beer all over his face.
He is soaking wet by the time he is done, and the ring is soaking wet. I mean, there's beer everywhere.
It's this premium beer too. This $33 for a 12-pack.
That's right.
I don't even think in Oklahoma you can have beer shipped to you, though.
I don't think you can. Sounds wrong.
Really? Is that true? I don't know.
But he's stone cold stunned everybody.
That's beautiful.
No one was safe.
Glad you got to go, El Man.
It was great.
All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break. And on the other side of that break, we're going to have some Twitter questions. We'll be right back. And we're back from that quick break, and it's time for some. No. Dang it, I did it again.
I like
Some
jamming. though.
do
Just
Twitter questions. You've got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you. This is Twitter questions. Now let's get down to it.
Hey, before you get into Twitter questions, let's take a little ride on the Tankathon.
you want to take a
Here we
ride?
go. One only,
Don't
guys.
do it.
Let's share the screen so that the
Our friends on YouTube. Which,
People
while
on
we're
YouTube.
here, if you're not following us on YouTube, you're missing some premium content.
missing it out.
you're missing it out.
out.
Missing it out.
missing it out.
Hmm.
Here we go. Great podcasting.
All right.
All right. Now it is shared. Here we go.
It's not. We're not going to share.
It's not going
All
to
right. Here we go.
We'll
We're going
just tell you. We're going to walk you play by play. Andrew is scrolling with his mouse.
to. Here we
He
go.
has
Sim lottery.
now-
Everybody, close your eyes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Sim. And the result is the Thunder get the 4th pick.
Okay.
Hey, I'll take it.
I feel good.
The Knicks jumped.
The Knicks jumped to number 1. They jumped 10 spots to get Chet Holmgren.
Congrats.
Number 2, Jabari Smith goes to the Magic. Number 3, the Pacers get Paolo. OKC gets Jaden Ivey. The Rockets fall to 5. The Pistons fall to 6.
Dream scenario, baby.
I'd be pretty happy about that.
Yay, we did it. Hey, our first Twitter question comes from at Trey Witzel, who says SGA seems to have high spirits during the tank. Could you handle tanking?
I can't handle it, and I'm just a fan. So no. Although
what if
$30 million would probably help.
I was going to say, that's what the money's for, Jay.
That's what the money's
That's
for.
what the money's for.
He was having a great time. A great time.
Yeah.
Against the Trailblazers. And I'm glad he was.
And they're all about to get like $1.5 million here after the season's over.
I'm glad they're doing. I'm really glad they didn't just sign some sort of Gabby deck and pay him $3 million to not pay everybody else.
Kenrich is about to like double his salary.
Yeah, because these guys deserve it, man. To endure this season, like, yep, here you go. I actually think that also should be dispersed for all the fans.
I think so too. That would be great.
Everybody gets like a $10 check.
Hey, listen, we know this has been hard, so here you go.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Hey, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from at Thunder Supply, who wants to know, would resting Coach Mark help the tank? Could we fake an injury for him?
I think
maybe.
I think it might help. Yeah. It might be a bridge too far. However, they keep taking this further than I thought they would.
Yeah.
Waiving Sarr, who had played well lately, and bringing in Melvin, who had a leggy in the game, which was amazing. Did you see this? You guys
Was
see
that?
this?
I just saw the picture. I didn't know that was Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that was Melvin
Wow.
Frazier going up for a layup, and it just
Not wedged, but perfectly laid upon the rim.
perched itself right.
That's
on,
got to
like,
be one of the most rare
it's very rare. So
basketball experiences.
the No Dunks guys track any kind of weird thing that happens with the basketball at the rim, and so it was a big part of the show
They're the wedgie guys. for
yesterday.
sure.
So yeah, the leggy was a big one. I think they said like in their time of tracking wedgies that there's maybe been 4 leggies. It doesn't happen. I mean, it doesn't even happen every year.
That's some percentage right there. The Thunder. So just a reminder, if you're listening, so today is Friday. Tonight they play the Lakers. Sunday night they play the Clippers. 2 games left. What does the next few games look like? I think that's the $1 million question. LeBron, AD, and Russ, all 3 set out against the Warriors on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Quitters.
And the hope is
Losers and quitters.
one of the hopes.
Lakers known losers. The whole team
Gosh, they're real bad.
known losers. All of them.
But
Hate.
one of the hopes is tonight that this is the last home game for the Lakers. Maybe.
It's fan appreciation night, I think.
Yeah. And then LeBron has some incentive if he wants to win the scoring title. Hopefully tonight. The Clippers are the wild card as well, because who's going to play? Are they going to play? I think they do have also some incentive to play at least part of their guys. Norman Powell just coming back from injury. Paul George just coming back from injury. Plus, they're also one of those teams that's just always competent regardless of who's on the floor now, which is helpful for us. And so I do think the Thunder are going to lose both of their last games.
I hope so. I have a feeling they're going to beat the Clippers just because it's an annual tradition.
What are you going to do if they beat the Clippers
I don't know.
to get the 5th best odds?
Yeah. I mean, what
How are you so?
what can you do?
He's so nonchalant about it.
Andrew,
He is the
man.
the conductor of the tank train.
You're the tank man.
The tank man.
Come on.
Sorry, what was the TQ? I forgot what it was.
I wouldn't.
Oh,
the
Mark,
front.
Coach
Choo,
Mark.
choo, choo.
I would not be happy. I just can't. I can't call the results today.
It's in LA, which is also encouraging. And then I just came across the beat. Coach Mark is not traveling with the team.
Coach Mark. He got hit. Like that's Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan situation.
Yeah.
Tire iron to the kneecaps.
Alex Spears
gonna say.
flew into town.
Alex is now in jail.
Club Mark on the knee. Jumped on a plane, went back to Portland.
Okay, let's get to our next Twitter question. It comes from @RitVic Yeduru, who wants to know, who would you rather have ranked them 1 through 4? Darius Garland, DeJounte Murray, Ja Morant,
Yuri.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
It's a great question. John number 1.
John number 1.
Agreed.
Shea
Shea
number 2.
Shea number 2. Yeah. Why do you hesitate? Who are you hesitating the most about?
Oh, I just don't know. I mean, I would pick him, but it's like I'm trying to not to be just a blatant homer like I always am. And then I would say Garland Murray.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right.
You know,
Yeah, Garland is good, certainly. He's a good player. Shea's length and height is a big deal.
It's also why I almost lean more towards Murray over Garland, because he brings a lot. I mean, his offensive game is not as developed as Murray's.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, as Garland's, but I mean, he's got a great body for what he's doing. He's good defensively anyway, but yeah, I mean, I think that is encouraging. There was a time last season where you definitely thought that Shea and Ja were in the same stratosphere.
Yeah.
But Ja just took such a substantial step this year.
Yeah, he
very
did.
good.
Hey guys, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from @BenPartridge_96, who wants to know: would you rather pour milk over your lasagna or pasta sauce over your cereal?
Milk over lasagna, no question.
Milky noodles?
Yes.
Yeah, it's already dairy. You just throw some more dairy on there.
Yeah, tomato sauce
Let it
on
happen.
cereal is a total ruiner.
Yeah, like is there any cereal that tomato sauce to be like, you know what? I could do it. I don't think there is.
Maybe Cheerios, but not like
Well, you
honey,
just-
not Honey Nut, just Cheerios.
Yeah, you just need something bland.
Maybe some
Nothing.
life. Maybe some life.
Life, like, are you talking about like bring some life?
No, like life cereal.
Life cereal.
Life has got flavor too. Like you can get a cinnamon version of it.
I didn't say cinnamon life.
Okay.
I just said life.
Life.
Life,
Give me life.
great nuts.
Give me life. I guess maybe. Either way, you're having a gross meal. The milk on the lasagna, I can't do it.
Those people that made life cereal must have been riding high when they made that cereal because they're just like, what do we call this?
I
Life.
don't know, what does this give me? What is this? What does this
What is this? This is
really do for me?
This
You know what? It gives me
is
life.
life.
This is life. Yeah, it's both been gross, but I can't get because lasagna is hot, milk is cold.
Yeah.
I can't figure out the pouring the cold milk on the hot lasagna. It's going to be gross. That's going to make it
Either
extra
way,
gross.
it's not going to be enjoyable.
You never know. You never tried it. Don't knock it till you tried it. How about that?
What about
Shoot us
what
a
about
video?
what about grape nuts?
Grape nuts? I could see it.
That must have been at a really low point whenever they made that
Grape
cereal.
nuts. What are these? Grape
I don't know.
nuts.
Freaking grape nuts. I don't know.
Grape nuts. All right, let's move on to our
Have we
next
done that before?
Twitter question. It comes from @JJ_05__. Perhaps two. I don't know. Maybe three. What's worse? A Thunder team you want to lose every night, win a game, or a good Thunder team you want to win, not show up, and lose versus a bad team?
I think this also reminded me, and I can't remember who it was that posted this, but somebody asked, like, maybe it was our podcast actually on Twitter, like your least favorite season of the Thunder seasons.
Yeah.
So it kind of leads me to that, where it's like that, I think it's 17-18 team that was the mellow,
PG
that was the
Westbrook.
historically fun or not fun team versus this team. Like, who would you prefer to watch? Who was more agonizing?
That team is really, really hard to watch because you had such high expectations.
Yeah.
And then it's like just to like slowly realize like they don't have enough to like really make an impact postseason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, ugh, like every game it's just like, oh man, it just, I felt like sick watching every game.
Yeah, because Durant leaves, Westbrook has his MVP season, and you're like, that's cool, but where we go from here is we get Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, and now we feel like we're back on top again to learn that we really weren't
were
back on
not.
top. We had not actually moved an inch
Yeah.
from where we were before. Because
And especially once Dre went out, which was around December, January, when Dre hurt his knee.
they
it
were
was
playing
like-
really
They
well.
were really, really good.
They were
Like,
rolling.
I was at the game where they played the Warriors and just blew the doors off them at home, which was amazing.
I
But
remember that.
there were highs early on, but after Dre went out, the wheels just fell off. And then that was the Jazz series that was just exhausting.
Yeah.
The Thunder were so out of their, I don't know, like Jeremy Grant, the Melo stuff, all of that in the sense of the Thunder just made it up by trying to fight the Jazz the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad.
It was really bad.
That was probably more frustrating. But both of these are about expectations not being met.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the early one, like was, hey, they were supposed to win. This one's they're supposed to lose, and they can't pull off either one of those things.
The season didn't get miserable until
The last
month or so. Because before then it was
I was having a blast.
like watching Josh at the beginning of the season until he was out was like, okay, wow, like this he's really good.
Well, and the joy stealer of as of late is when Poku got benched.
Mm-hmm.
Like Poku at least was like, oh,
Who got a triple-double last week?
I get to watch Poku play. Like it's just a fun experience regardless. It's like a roller coaster.
He was awesome.
Yes, I know. We told you we didn't want to hear it.
I know.
He
was great.
Was it when they beat the Suns?
Yeah. I think,
Was that the game?
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
but
He was incredible.
yeah, there was always something you wanted to watch for a vast majority of the season where it was like, even in games where Poku was not really good, you had Trey Mann who was playing well, or you had, like, and then all of a sudden when you're not pulling, but you're watching Teo Maladon go off for 25 points. And now it's just like, there's not one player on the floor that you'll remember in 5 years.
I'll remember Xavier Simpson just for his little hook shot.
Maybe Lindy.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, they pulled Lindy. It's been
Too good.
Discussed
Bench
at
him.
length.
Too good.
He was 2 of 3 from 3, and I was like, get out of here, boy.
He hit one. Y'all talked about this no, you couldn't have talked about it on Wednesday, but he hit one against the Jazz where he caught it kind of on the move and was kind of floating sideways from the corner. And I was like,
he's starting to.
That's a legit 3, my man.
His confidence is sky high right now. He looks really good out there. I don't know if he's going to make it. He does have a second year on his 2-way contract, so he'll be back. But I mean, the blue story is waiting on like the first guy to make a real impact on the Thunder.
Yeah, I know y'all talked about that quite a bit. Like that, the thing that the Heat have done, is they get production from the guys, and they're like legit NBA players.
Yeah, we're waiting on our Max Strus.
Yeah, which I didn't even know who he was.
He's good. He's making big plays for the Heat. Starts
the Dan Le Batard show. Apparently, Dan's mother has like a pseudo celebrity crush on Max Strus.
Yeah,
and so Poppy, Dan's dad, is like, I'm gonna get on the court and smack the crap out of him. And so then Max Strus heard and like responded back to him. And
oh,
like,
really?
He's like, oh, apparently this is gonna happen. So me versus Poppy, and then Udonis Haslam jumped in this Instagram feed and was just like, Poppy's gonna beat the crap out of you. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey guys, let's go to
He's
our
a good-looking
next
man,
Twitter
Max Strus
question.
is.
He is.
You guys got to fight now for him.
Can't deny it.
All right. Our next Twitter question. It comes from @NB6'6", who says, "Good day, guys. Who holds the tiebreaker between the Thunder and Pacers if we win one more game?"
There's no tiebreaker. It's a coin flip. So if you remember last year, the Thunder were tied with the Cavs. There was a coin flip. The Thunder won the coin flip
And lost Evan Mobley.
And just remember that winning is losing, always.
So that was the Thunder were tied for the 4th best odds, and then ended up they stayed at 4 and Cleveland got 5. Is that correct?
Correct. So,
all right.
Well, that sucked. Hey guys, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from @KiwiGreg5555. Who wants to know what Portland game was worse, the Dame wave or the failed tank game?
Dame wave.
Great question.
Dame wave for sure.
Dame wave was like all time bad.
I had the expectation that we were going to win those Blazers games. Like I just thought we were going to win them.
Yeah.
And I think the Roby one hurt
That was
worse because
the dream scenario.
Yeah. It was a dream scenario. We wanted the Blazers.
Yeah.
Nurkic was out. We thought we're just going to dominate them. And then Cantor made Steve look really bad.
Can play Cantor.
Can play Cantor and did play Cantor.
Revenge game.
It's a big
Well,
revenge
I don't know
game.
if you all remember how vividly is that game against Portland in Portland that Dame did that. The Thunder actually played really well.
They
should have won that game.
They should have.
They were ahead all game, playing really well.
Yes.
And you thought, okay, they're actually going to get out of this series, because then it was going to come back to Oklahoma City. It was going to be, I think it was at that point 3-3 maybe if they would have won that game, and it just did not happen.
No. Yeah, that was brutal.
And just his team going wild around and him just
Waving.
And he waved, and then he like stared into the camera.
It's very good.
Afterwards. It was a great celebration. He did the right thing there. It
really was.
It was miserable.
I in the moment, even when it was happening, I was respecting the wave and his response. And like his response, I was like,
it was just like, wow.
It
like,
was
wow, yeah.
a bad NBA moment.
I don't know.
Like,
Are you saying it is a bad A, capital A, NBA moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It was.
So Dame in that game, I didn't remember the stat line. He had 50 points, 57 and 6.
he was the only one. Like,
Yeah.
nobody else was scoring for them.
He was 10 of 18 from 3.
He won that game. I mean,
Yeah, like Mo
In every
Harkless
way.
had 17. CJ had 17. CJ had 17 on 19 shots. Russ had a triple-double, obviously. 29, 11, and 14. Paul George had 36 points, 9 boards, 3 assists. He had 36 points on 20 shots. Westbrook took 31 shots.
Now, did they win that
29
series in
points.
5 or was it 6?
In 5.
Yeah. So they'd have come back 3-2. Yeah, it would come back 3-2 to Oklahoma City, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the thing that was happening, though, what you saw in that game, and this is what's so funny, because Dame was incredible, but he looked visibly tired doing all of this for the Blazers in that game. And so I think, I don't know, and I'm always optimistic, but it felt like if the Thunder could have gotten that one.
They made the conference finals.
That Blazers team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Beat the Nuggets.
You know who the starting shooting guard was on that team, on that Thunder team?
Raymond Felton.
Terrence Ferguson played 30 minutes and 43 seconds in that game. He took one shot. He made it.
I remember
100%.
we used what were
100%.
Ray Felton's minutes in that game?
Raymond Felton played 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
Okay.
Dennis Schroeder played 33. They basically just played 6 guys. They gave Nerlens 8 minutes. Markieff played 3 minutes. Ray played 3 minutes. Just in case you wanted to recap one of the worst games in Thunder history.
Yep.
And there it was.
Well, guys, let's go on to our next sort of
This
question.
next question's about Game 6 of the Golden State Warriors Conference Finals.
No, it's from @Michael on Sports. It looks like Russ. It looks like Russ is destined to be traded and bought out this summer. Where would you like to see him go as a free agent?
I was actually just on the way over here listening to Zach Lowe and Kevin Pelton talk about this, and it's always encouraging when they say something where you and Alex have talked about it, or Alex and somebody else in the text feed or something like that talked about this weeks ago. It's like there are no suitors. There's no suitors for him unless it is like a team that wants to make a splash. The Pacers thing actually makes sense a little bit. They have the lineup that would actually work with Russ, if depending on what version of Russ you get, because Halliburton can stretch, Miles Turner being your center. Like, I think there is some of that kind of would make sense, but it would have to be on a dramatically different.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the teams, like what team is ready to take on Russ and his personality and everything that comes with it? I mean, Boston, no. Philly, no. Toronto, no. Brooklyn, no. The Knicks is like the only one that I keep coming back to, where it's like the Knicks really just don't have a point guard outside of Derrick Rose. So, like, that's the one that I just keep coming back to. That's like the Knicks have said no in the past, obviously, but it's one that you're just like, maybe it's like a Kemba Walker situation where they could sign him.
Yeah, if if you're not paying him $45 million,
Yeah.
like if he goes to Charlotte's the one that people were talking about, right? And then Charlotte buys him out for $5-10 million less than what he's owed over the next year, which I think Russ would probably be agreeable to some of that, just to
Although
save
Russ would
face.
look really cool in those jerseys, in those Hornets jerseys.
Well, but there's no way they're actually planning on keeping him if that's what they're looking at.
I don't know that anybody plans on keeping him.
But I could see, like, if Russ is on the market for a very small amount of money. I could see
even
the
then,
Knicks.
though, like the Knicks, yes. Like Milwaukee, no.
I still wonder about the Wizards.
Chicago, no.
They traded him. I understand that, but it's like the Wizards don't make any sense.
The Wizards are going nowhere fast. We're going to talk about that today. We'll release
your
tomorrow
Slam
on
Jam
Slam
team?
and Jam. Yeah.
Y'all should 100% have pulled off all of the garbage teams. I'm like, why? Because I love it when it's like these are contenders and we're having conversations about the Grizzlies and then it's like
We've got a
the
very
Wizards.
dedicated Wizards fan that listens. That was so excited.
I
He
bet he was.
wrote a specific Apple Podcast review about how excited he was
I love it.
about the Wizards being drawn on the wheel of fandom.
Well, never mind.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, the Wizards do make some sense. I don't disagree with that. But then after that, it's like Miami, Atlanta, Charlotte, Orlando, no. Memphis, Dallas, New Orleans, San Antonio, Houston, no. Phoenix, no. Warriors, no. Clippers, no. Maybe Clippers? No.
Maybe Clippers.
Maybe.
It's a different ball game if he's willing to, which is the question, right? It's the Allen Iverson comparison forever and ever and ever. But
Yeah.
the thing is what is he having to define his role as? Number one. Number two is the financial side of it. If he's not making that albatross of a contract, then it's not quite as hard of a pill to swallow.
Yeah.
To sign him.
Can he take the step that Carmelo had
No.
to take?
His game doesn't work that way. He's not an efficient shooter. He never has been in his whole life. Like
It's
for
not
Melo, at least he can come off the bench, shoot 5 threes, make 2 of them.
But it's not even about shooting to me. It's more about like, can you be a ball mover, transition, defensive player?
Listen, I know there's a lot of Thunder fans that have this affinity for Russ, but we've been talking about what could develop or evolve in Russ's game for 15 years. It feels like.
Yeah, that's why I feel he's going to be done real soon.
Yeah. And he
The
doesn't.
Lakers missed the play in.
They are 20 games under 500.
Yeah, they stink. They brought Russ in, so I know they've dealt with injuries. Everybody knows and can accept that. But the reason that they brought Russ in was for reasons like this, where it's like, okay, if we have major injuries to Anthony Davis and LeBron can't go every night, then at least we have Russell.
And Russ did. He played 75 games this year
Yeah.
for him. Like
Yeah.
as far as the ability to stay on the floor, that Russ did it. And there are qualifiers. Like I understand all of the things. Like their roster. This is Rob Pelinka's fault.
Yeah.
Or Jeannie Buss or whoever is making decisions, because
LeBron.
everybody
Yeah.
that thinks critically about the NBA knew that the fit was bad.
Yeah.
Like the Buddy Hield trade that was potentially on the table, if you were able to keep Buddy Hield and Alex Caruso, this team's in the play-in.
Or if
This
you
team's
just,
in the playoffs, probably.
yeah, or if like Rob Pelinka got kidnapped and couldn't make any moves at all in the offseason, they'd be a
Yes.
lot better. Because you'd have KCP,
Now,
you'd have Kuzma, you'd
For
have
sure.
Harrell still.
To be fair, Anthony Davis is made of paper mache.
Yeah.
Like the dude is the most injury-prone player in the NBA right
Mm-hmm.
now. And that is a problem. And
Yeah.
to think about the fact that your future as a franchise is going to be LeBron at some point is going to leave. You're going to be depleted of assets, and you're going to have Anthony Davis who can't play more than half of a season ever.
They need to trade him.
I don't know what you do. Like it makes me feel great because I don't want the Lakers in this current form to be successful.
Yeah.
But I man, as a franchise, like they're not now. What they always have is they're the Lakers.
Yeah. they're
And
the
they
Lakers.
always, but the thing is they don't have, other than getting free agents just to say, I'm going to LA.
Mhm.
But right now, if you're a free agent in 4 years and you look at this roster and the assets they have, and the whole goal is to get to LA, You're 100% picking the Clippers over the Lakers.
I don't know.
With the leadership, if your goal is to own, now, if you're just like the purple and gold of the Lakers and all of that,
There's still something about being a Laker
There is,
and
but
being a Clipper.
they still had 10 years of mediocrity in between LeBron. Maybe it wasn't 10 years, 5 years of mediocrity between LeBron and the highest of Kobe.
Yeah. And they still got LeBron.
I know.
Yeah, that's
That's the thing. It's like they
Yeah.
were horrible
But they were swinging and
decisions.
missing on free agents that whole season, that whole time too. If it wasn't for LeBron having a specific desire to go and make Space Jam,
Yeah, if he didn't want to be in LA. Yeah, but he still did want to.
I know.
And there will
And it
be
will
somebody
always
else.
be that way.
There will be somebody
not
else that
wrong.
will want to. They're going to have a lull, and then they will roar back whenever Zion or Luca or whoever wants to go live in LA.
Not Luca. Luca will be in Dallas till he retires.
He might disappoint you.
I don't think that's true.
Do you know something?
I know nothing
Hey
except
guys,
for pain.
Pain.
let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from, and then I probably have to leave to get on an airplane.
No. Easily.
To get on an airplane. Okay, and the Twitter question is from @here to Thunder Up. Have you ever been slapped in the face in public? How did you respond?
I have not.
I slapped back and I said, "We must have a duel."
You took your glove off and
Yes, and then we
have you ever been punched?
punched.
Have you been slapped or punched?
I don't think so. I've never been in like a fight.
Me neither, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, I was punched.
have.
In 5th grade, I was punched right in the face.
How'd you respond?
Really?
I sat down and started crying.
That's the right response.
Who punched you?
I was 12. Some kid that was a
bully?
kind of.
Call him out.
We thought we were. I thought it was so funny, man. We were just messing around, like joking around, like
Punched you in the
he
face.
punched me right in the face.
Call him out.
Call him out. What's
My
his name?
dad was very frustrated with me because he was like, so I've always had like a really giant conscience, like always, my whole life.
Mhm.
Like never was the guy that would go TPing because I was always nervous about
Really?
being arrested, being ticketed, whatever, getting in trouble. Like getting in trouble was the compass that I'd like, everything was evaluated through that lens. So for me, is he hit me in the face, and instead of retaliating, I was just like, I don't want to get in trouble. So go sit down. Like
Just sit down and cry.
just go sit down. And he got suspended for a week or whatever like that. But it was just, his name was Josh Brown, man. I remember it to this day. He was a big boy too. And I was a big boy. So it was kind of like two
big boys going at it.
like, yeah, two monstrosities of kids, you know. But instead he just hit me in the face and I went and sat down. Started crying. I had a black eye. It was awful. But I didn't, because I was nervous about this is so embarrassing. So in track, we had track in elementary school. Did y'all have track in elementary school? Like
Yeah.
track meets?
Yeah,
Where,
I think,
where
yeah.
the schools would compete against one another?
Yeah. I ran the 200.
You're not going to be shocked by this, but I was a big tug of war guy.
I was going to say the tug of war.
Tug of war. Big
Tug
tug
of war
of
was
war
very
guy.
fun.
We had some big kids, and so we were always really good at tug of war. And so, but that's what I wanted to do. I was looking forward to it. It was tug of war season, man. And so I was like, I don't want to get suspended for tug of war. And so that's what made my decision.
well,
My dad was like, you should have smacked him right back in the face. It's like, I didn't want to miss tug of war. That's how awkward of a kid I was.
well,
Uh,
you were a good kid.
I was
Let's say that.
I was
Yeah.
also a thick kid.
You're a good, thick kid.
Round. I was round.
You're a good
spherical.
spherical child.
My
Like it.
my head was a perfect circle.
Like when the girl eats the blueberry and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And I had a bowl cut. Shocking
It's amazing.
that I wasn't just pulling in the ladies.
You sound like a Willy Wonka character.
I kind of might have been.
Fall in the chocolate fountain, gets sucked
And
up
I
the
wore a
tube.
lot
Yeah.
of sweatpants, but not like cool sweatpants. Like joggers, cool today.
Yeah.
Not cool as a 5th grader.
Yeah.
You know what's cool as a 5th grader? I don't know.
Beavis and Butthead was cool when I was a 5th grader.
This is a good one. At me love Thundamo says, could you please lay out the necessary chain of events for the Clippers pick to end up in the lottery? I need to know what to root for after the Blazers debacle. So it's not going to be good. Me love Thundamo, because I don't think they're going to be in the lottery. I think they're going to win a game because if you look at the standings today, they're going to have to lose 2 games in the play-in. It's not impossible. But it's going to be tough. So right now they sit at 8th. So CL, man, they sit at 8th, which means they're going to if they lost to Minnesota in the first play-in game, then they would play the winner of the Pelicans
Is that how it?
and
Okay.
the Spurs. And if they lose that game, then they're in the lottery. So with Paul George,
No chance.
with the possibility of
Kawhi coming
Kawhi,
back. No.
it just doesn't feel like that's going to happen.
I do.
I think they'll win. I think they'll win the first game, and they'll be.
You think they beat the Wolves?
I do. The Wolves just aren't playing very well.
Great.
And then they'll play Memphis, which I would rather see Minnesota Memphis because I think that would be really fun. And also for the Grizzlies, I think it'd be a lot less scared of Minnesota. But the Clippers with Paul George and possibly Kawhi as your reward for being the 2 seed and having this incredible year all year, and Ja hasn't been playing and he's going to be coming back. Like that's a little terrifying. Like I don't know that I would pick the Clippers to win, but
I don't maybe I'm crazy and I'm not paying attention enough. I don't think Kawhi hasn't been fully cleared for like contact yet. He's just doing warm-ups and
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what at least I'd heard. But the Clippers are always pesky, especially with Paul George. Like they got to the conference finals last year.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I would not
Yeah, that
be
sucks.
I would not be happy about this scenario if I were Memphis.
Yeah, I think you're right. I am really excited. Like what's hard in the midst of this Thunder Tankathon journey is the fact that like I forget that the rest of the NBA exists.
Oh yeah.
And it's really easy to get caught in that, but I'm like the playoffs are just around the corner.
The play-in
like next weekend.
Is the play-in's on Tuesday. Starts on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
And you're going to have potentially, Zion coming back for the Pelicans.
Yeah, it's very possible. And they're playing well.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was, that podcast was Zach Lowe, because I'm honest, like this Thunder season has made it to where I'm not paying attention as much to the NBA as a whole, like towards the end, where it's like I didn't even realize Kevin Pelton had 2 different Pelicans on his top 3 all rookie teams.
But that's hot garbage.
Like Herb Jones, though, you like.
Herb is great. To include Jose Alvarado
which
on
I
your
think they were
all
more
rookie team
talking than they were actually saying he would be on that all rookie team.
he
But
put him on his second team.
did he?
Yes. That I don't know how many. I'm sure a lot of our listeners listen to that too. That was so bad. Because if you look at like the stats when it comes to these rookies, to include him, he's scoring like 5 points a game.
Yeah.
Would
you put Kuminga over him?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I'd put Trey Mann over him. Trey's done way more than he's done.
See,
I don't
thank
care
you.
like what
Yes.
I mean, you talk about the on-off numbers. Like I was asking Mark earlier this season about Kenrich and Mike's on-offs, and he's like, listen, he's like, those on-offs are so noisy, even though we have like this large sample. He's like, that's like he was like, yeah, don't use that. And in 700 minutes, you're going to use that as your argument is just it's nonsensical. It's crazy. You may like him. It's a cool story, and he's a really cool player, and he's been fun to watch. But to say that he deserves to be on the all rookie team is crazy because there's been so many good rookies, and you're going to use him as one of the top 10 rookies. I mean, this is basically a list of the top 10 rookies of this season. And to say that he's a top 10 rookie to me is absolutely insane. I mean, you look at just a stat like as simple as total points. I mean, how far down do we have to go to get to Alvarado? I mean, it's going to be embarrassingly low to even say his name. I mean, I don't think he's in the top 50. Or yeah, he's in the top 50, but like you can't put that guy on your all rookie team. You just can't. You can't do that.
Is it simply just getting caught up in the moment? Because he's a cool player. He does the sneaky steal thing.
Yeah, everybody loves the sneaky steal thing.
The Pelicans are a fun team currently.
Yeah, they're playing pretty well, but to me, it's just I think it's kind of crazy just to put him there. I just don't think that's right. And I'm not saying like they should for sure put one of the Thunder guys on there. I don't think that. Even like not even to mention Trey Murphy's name, who's been decent for them. Like Kispert would be a better player. Dosunmu, like for sure.
Well,
over
and
him.
Zach Lowe really was pulling for Şengün.
Yeah, even Şengün is like you have way better argument for Şengün than you do.
So the playing
For him.
games. Who do you feel most sad for? Two teams that have had just epic seasons for their franchises. Although Cleveland has obviously cooled off. They're 3-7 in the last 10.
Yeah.
Cleveland's obviously not the same. They've had a lot of injury problems. Jared
Mhm.
Allen, I know, has been out for a while. And anyway, but Cleveland's playing game is Brooklyn. Then they would have to play the winner of Atlanta and Charlotte, which I think they actually still probably would get in.
Mm-hmm.
I would pick them in the second game, but I won't pick them against Brooklyn.
No, probably not.
And then on the other side of it, so do you feel worse that Cleveland has to start with them or that Memphis gets to pull a Clippers team that is getting healthy at the right time?
Yeah, I mean Cleveland's they're just so banged up. It's been a cool season. It's just ended so poorly for them. Like they should have if they could have stayed completely healthy, I think they would be where Chicago is, and Chicago would be in the play-in.
So we're at the point now, and I know you'll do a lot of this on Monday and Wednesday. Like if you're looking at the end of the season, I know we talked a little bit about this. Like who are you excited to watch? What do you think? I'll tell you who I'm sneaky pulling for, and it all depends on whether or not they get healthy. Is I really like Boston in the East.
Yeah.
If Time Lord can get back.
Yeah, I'm worried about Time Lord for sure. I think I don't know if he can get back in time to make an impact because like even if he does come back, what is he gonna be able to do?
4 weeks or whatever post meniscus tear.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because I mean I still like Milwaukee.
Yeah, I
better
100%.
Miami is going to be really tough. Other the 76ers haven't played well, and they could lose in round 1 to Toronto, who beat them last night.
Yeah, because Thibault can't play because he's
Matisse. That's a big deal because that's what the matchup is right now, and it's not locked in that will be the matchup. But after that loss last night, it makes it more likely that that's where they're going to end up is at the 4-5 with Toronto. And if you're Philly, you have to just you're horrified that again it's Toronto that could send your team home. And because Matisse can't play and you don't have, he's been one of their best 6 players this season. It's going to be a real struggle for them. I would still pick Philly in that series, but
yeah, because you do get him
at
home games,
home.
right?
Yeah.
So probably minimally 3-4 games, hopefully for
Mhm.
them.
There's more. There's teams that would even be more scared to play Toronto because of guys that aren't vaxxed, but
like Brooklyn,
Brooklyn or Boston. I've heard that there's several guys on Boston that aren't. So it is interesting.
A lot of storylines heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a lot. The Dallas-Utah series, which
Utah's going to get swept.
that's probably going to be the matchup.
Call right now. The Dallas. I said UConn. UConn going to get swept. Utah is going to get swept.
Yeah, that's going to be fascinating.
Donovan Miller.
To watch
Donovan Miller. I'm done for the day. Apparently, Donovan Mitchell going to request a trade this offseason. Thunder
Yeah.
gonna pick him up for
Thunder going to pick him up.
their 2022 draft pick.
The
and
Pelicans are going to trade Jose Alvarado for
straight up
for him.
for Donald Mitchell.
Donovan.
I know. I was talking about that's who they're going to trade him for.
Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, he's very interesting this summer because he very well could just blow this whole thing up and just say, you know what, I'm done. Or if they lose,
Awesome.
if they do lose in round 1, they could explore like trading Rudy and just saying like, let's keep Donovan here. Let's try to keep him happy.
You have to do that if that's the potential conflict, right? Like there's no question if you're choosing between Mitchell or Gobert that you're going with Mitchell.
Yeah.
So get him out. And he's your only asset. And he's not going to, guys like that don't necessarily age well.
Mm-mm.
And I don't even know, like what's for another pod to explore. We'll have plenty of off-season podcasts to talk about the market for Gobert.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Charlotte would be really interesting.
Yes.
For him.
Yeah. Especially with Russ. All right, Andrew.
Russ and Rudy Gobert.
It's
They're reforming the roster. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to ask the question since the old man left is, are you miffed or peeved?
Miffed and
peeved. And I'm going to take this opportunity to break one of the cardinal rules of the podcast.
Uh-oh.
We don't talk about the weather, but I am so exhausted of the wind.
The wind has been brutal.
Oklahoma City has had basically and will continue to have for the next 7 days.
Is that true?
7 days.
Is that true?
Gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour.
No.
It's just horrid.
That's terrible. I didn't know it was going to last.
Yesterday it was like sunny and the wind was blowing out of the north at like 45 miles an hour and it was so cold and stupid and I hate it.
We couldn't even go outside yesterday.
No, and it's the same. Right now I'm looking out your window as trees are blowing vigorously because of this stupid wind.
Yeah. There's like no wind block out here either. And it's just like
there is how do you
insane.
You can't wind block this.
No.
Build a wall. You're the only wind block
awful.
is be inside.
Yeah.
Which for a guy like me who has terrible seasonal allergies, this is just punching my sinuses in the face every single day.
Oh, it's terrible.
Miffed and peeved.
Let's do one more Tankathon spin.
Here it is. This is the one that counts.
This is the real one. This will determine what happens on lottery night. Here we go.
Button is clicked, and the Thunder end with
7.
seven.
Fall
Worst
to
case
7.
scenario.
The Pacers go to 1, Pistons 2, Wizards 3. This is actually kind of interesting because the Rockets, Magic, and Thunder all fall significantly, and the Blazers rise to 4. Yeah, that's bad. Let's do that again. Also bad. They stay at 7.
Stay at 7. Actually, the 5, 6, 7 didn't change. Now there's 6. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Still, that was
8.
8. All right.
Back
to back. 7, 7, 6, 8.
Wow, I have not jumped once. I've been spinning. The best I've gotten is 4. There we go.
There
Number
you go,
1 pick.
Took
All
8
right.
swings to get to the number 1. So,
All right.
Well, now I'm also miffed and peeved about that.
Yeah, that's a definite miffed and peeved. All right. Thanks so much for listening to our podcast. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday.